Bam, let's go. Pre-market bias, not pre-market bias. This is like market bias, Nonetheless, um, my bias is sells on the day. Weekly, well, daily broke structure to the downside on Friday. Had a bunch of news, NFP and whatnot, push price to the downside. Price Sunday came in for this 4 hour for value gap. Hourly, this is what we're doing. This is how it looks right now. Price did come in at 11 on Sunday, 11 p.m. Came in retracing to this hourly for value gap. That would have been a good entry, and then push price back to the downside. Currently, this is my and if. I have not two biases, still sell bias, but entries I would like to see. One, either an hourly break structure to the downside, not for an absolute entry, but for extra confluence that yes, we're going down, or even better, this is what I would like to see. Price come back up. I wouldn't like to not see a close to the downside. See price come back up, take out these highs for liquidity, then make the move to the downside. I have like not an and if bias, but I have two sides of it just in case. Like even right now, what is price action doing? That's a great question. Let's check. Nonetheless, that's what we would like to see. Price come up, take out highs, and simply just react to price action. That's something I've been backtesting over the weekend, trying to improve reacting to price action instead of strictly trying to force our bias and what we want to happen. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean we would enter unprofitable trades. So like I said, I would like to see price come up, take out highs, next candlestick, then break structure to the downside, or well, on a micro time frame for an entry, with it being a liquidity sweep, then pushing price to the downside. That's what I would like to see. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Let's see. But nonetheless, gonna let price action play out for a bit. Gonna sit and be patient, and we will come back and see what happens. Nonetheless, we are bearish. Unless I'm missing something. My bias is bearish. I don't care about anyone else's bias. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We'll see. But nonetheless, I will see you guys hopefully in the next clip when price action starts to develop a little bit more, because still 6 a.m. It's still early, and gold market opened 30 minutes ago. So let's give it some time to play out. Okay, so I had to, not clean up my chart, but make everything look nice. Nonetheless, we got into the sell position on gold. My brain is still turning on. Got into the sell position on gold. Yeah, and so I'll give a breakdown of why I entered it, obviously, so I can look back and rewatch the recap and understand. Nonetheless, we did want to see an hourly liquidity sweep before price actually made its move to the downside. We didn't see that, unfortunately. I wish we would have, but it is what it is. But we did say if price to start pushing to the downside, breaking hourly structure, which clearly it looks like. If you ask me, I think it's going to break hourly structure. I hope so. I would be concerned if it didn't. Nonetheless, with that being said, 15-minute continue to break structure to the downside, and 5-minute. I was looking for a liquidity sweep, break a structure on a 5-minute time frame. Or at least on this chart, I don't know if a different chart, but I did not see that, unless someone would come up here and count this as this being a high taken out. I consider a high being taken out when the candle closes above it, break up structure. Nonetheless, yeah. So one on a 1-minute time frame was looking for a more micro entry, and got something on 1 minute, waited for the break of structure to the downside on 1 minute. Price broke 1 minute structure to the downside and 5 minutes. So we were like, okay, let's go. And we are targeting, I'll show you. At first, this would have been TP1, this hourly draw liquidity. But then we have here, and then this is a 15-minute draw liquidity. Nonetheless, nothing too crazy. We will see how this trade plays out. We're very bearish today. We're very, very bearish, especially from last week. So we'll see what kind of move gold wants to make today. And nonetheless, gonna learn something either way, whether we hit TP or we get stopped out, because there's always more to learn. Apart from that, I will see you guys as the trade kind of continues to develop, as price action continues to develop. And yeah, apart from that, I will see you guys hopefully in the next clip. Okay, so nonetheless, TP2 and TP3 got hit, stops our break. So price is still pushing to the downside. Nonetheless, we have our last TP here. Depending how price action moves, I mean, we're going to stick around and manage it. But yeah, TP2, TP3 got hit, stops our break even. Price is still bearish to the downside, closes on 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So now we broke structure to the downside, and yeah, we're gonna see how much lower we continue pushing. Hopefully we can hit TP4. Apart from that, yeah, that was the little progression. I'm trying to think of the word. Yeah. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next clip. Most likely I will. Apart from that, see you in a minute. Okay, so we're back. All 4 TPs were hit. And this is the P&L. You see it? Bam. Nonetheless, yeah, let's recap the trade. So, with everything being said, let's start with the top-down analysis. Why we took this trade, what was our thought process? We really went in this weekend and back tested heavy, in order to get more of an understanding of our trading and our emotion within trading, and how to really just cut it out and nonetheless trust our strategy. So with everything being said, let's start from daily. Daily, like I said in the pre-market analysis, broke structure to the downside on Friday, had a whole lot of news, pushed price to the downside. And I'm going to be real, originally I thought we would, I'm going to go on a clean chart for this. Originally I thought we would have rejected off of this weekly fair value gap until I realized this was our rejection off of it, this little wick right here, and I didn't realize that. Nonetheless, not like it really matters, it really doesn't. I just felt like saying that. I don't know, that was something that was on my mind, and during the trade for some reason that little bit would reverse the entire trade. And yeah, but nonetheless, price retraced into this 4-hour fair value gap, like I said, pushing price to the downside, continuing lower. Hourly, same thing, into this fair value gap at 11. I also said that, but now at around 7 a.m., that's when hourly broke structure to the downside. We noticed price action was breaking structure on 15-minute, executed on a 1-minute liquidity sweep, break a structure to the downside, because price action wasn't allowing any entry on 5-minute. So we did it on 1 minute. Price came out, took out highs here, broke structure to the downside. That was our entry. And we had 4 TPs on this trade. With this position, I did take everything as a as a, what am I, took, I didn't take multiple take profits on this trade. That's like, I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Nonetheless, we had TP1 at this wick, not draw liquidity. The draw liquidity is the body of the candlestick, but we had TP1 at this wick, TP2 at this draw liquidity on hourly, TP3 at this wick, and TP4 at this very minuscule 15-minute draw liquidity, even though, yeah, I know it's really small, but whatever. Right. Nonetheless, took this trade position. Price was following with an overall market structure, and something I've really been focusing in and locking in on was allow the market to give you a reason to trade. I wrote that down in my journal thing. With my game plan, I wrote, have price action be so clear that it's innately screaming at you to trade. It's saying place the position, place the position, place position. Because the last thing you want to do is have a mixed bias of where you should be going. And we all know when price action is screaming at us to take the trade, but we don't take the trade out of emotion. And that's why I went in, back tested, got confidence with my strategy, and our new approach to the market. Nonetheless, in my journal, I did write I was going to execute on 5 minute, but like I said, there's times where you have to kind of adjust your strategy depending on what time frame you execute on. That's why typically I recommend people to have 2 time frames. If you're a scalper, 1 and 5, or some people even 3 and 5. Because for me, 5 minute didn't show, signs of anything, but 1 minute did. So we execute on 1 minute. And then over here, because, over here, we actually ended up holding this. We were eating, so yeah, didn't take profit there, but we've seen price retrace into this 15-minute fair value gap, rejected, not heavily, but rejected enough. Well, on 15-minute heavily, but rejected enough on 5-minute. Ended up breaking structure back to the downside, giving us extra confidence that okay, we'll keep making that move back down. When TP4 got hit again, we were out. Nonetheless, yeah. So that was the overall trade. That was what we did right. I would say trusting within our trading strategy. I have a lot of the times I allow emotion to kick in. But like I said, even after this, going to go in, backtest even more, journal even more, really understand why this was a win, continue to replicate these wins, and really just continue to push through because at the end of the day, yeah. So, still got work to do. Excuse me. Going backtest, and continue to not force our trade setups and allow them to come to us. I think that's a good lesson, to not force your trade setups and just allow them to show up. This one showed up. Like I said, I wanted to see a liquidity sweep on hourly before price broke structure to the downside, but we didn't get that, so we just played with overall price action, and yeah, nonetheless, we are still bearish. If we close, I would be surprised if we didn't close below this daily low, but if we do, we're going to continue bearish. That's just my personal bias. Like I said, I may be wrong, I may be right, who knows? Go in, do your own technical analysis. Everyone sees the market differently, but nonetheless, yeah, that was a little recap for the day. I hope you guys did enjoy. Continue to go out, grind, do the work no one else is willing to do, and go out and kill it. I believe you guys. I believe in you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Leave any comments for any videos you guys want to see. But apart from that, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.